right now, with the market being as tight as it is and every dollar and cent counting, anything that protects the wallet, right? And when I think about that, I think about protection and security against fraud, because it is so damn rampant right now. And, even the latest fraud scheme that I've seen with, there's now agent lease-on collaboration within the brokerages, which if any broker is listening, please, if you hire agents, please do your due diligence, because I have seen it now across several reputable brokers. But then, if they can get into it.
Or they can.
Chris, can you, you had a video about this.
Yeah.
So can you explain this
yes.
for our audience exactly what you're talking about?
Okay. So essentially a reputable broker who has an agent model, right? So they hire agent. Yeah. So the agent model, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the agents all over they have agents posted all over the country, sort of like remote freight brokers that work for the brokerage.
So kind of like Landstar had it.
Very much. It's exactly, yeah.
Little satellite offices all over the country.
Yeah, because I think there is a lot of brokers that are doing that.
Yes. So they hire an agent. The agent actually works for the reputable broker, like a Landstar, although I have not seen this with Landstar at all. So Landstar, don't get mad. Then what happens is the broker, the agent that is hired, then calls a carrier within the brokerage and says, hey, you run freight for us. I have another carrier who also runs freight for us, but they just lost their insurance. They would love to lease onto you. We've given them dedicated freight that they've run for months for us. They do such a great job, but they need an MC. We know that you've worked with us as well. Would you be open to the lease on carrier coming under your MC so they can continue to run our dedicated freight? The good carrier says, sure, yeah, wow, too good to be true. They're going to pay me 10% of these loads just to use my MC, and it's coming from the broker I trust to say, hey, I've got this carrier. So all of a sudden, the lease-on carrier starts sending paperwork to the legitimate carrier over here. They start sending it back to the broker and billing. Well, they send it to their factoring company. The factoring company buys it, bills the broker. We send the money to the carrier. The carrier then shifts it off to the leased on. Okay. And then by the time the broker back office realizes these invoices don't exist, these loads are not there. They were in the system. The factoring company was able to verify the loads in the system because the agent actually built them, but nobody was verifying that they were legit. So you can go to different, broker portals, and they were there and they were marked delivered because the agent's doing his job. Yes, dispatch it. Yes, mark it delivered, blah, blah, blah. But then it goes to accounting. Accounting bills a shipper bills their customer. And the customer says, what the hell is this? You guys didn't move any freight for me. By the time everyone realizes it and the carriers, they're gone. The agent never existed. The lease-on never existed. It was a fraud scheme the whole time. And it is happening over and over and over again. And so and who's responsible? Because the broker told the factoring company these loads exist. They're delivered. They're there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the agent.
And these poor carriers, they get the money.
Disappears,
yeah,
right?
and the agent disappears.
I'm just saying that the broker hired the agent.
Yeah, the broker hired the agent. They didn't do their due diligence 100%. So that is also sort of our argument.
No, wild.
Crazy.
You gotta be careful though.
Yes.
If someone calls you.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So I've heard of this agents that are happening, and then there's a few brokers that are doing that whole thing now.
Yeah.
I noticed these brokers that are agents, they're doing a lot of sketchy stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not gonna say what.
Yeah.
Doing a lot
There's a lot of agents out there.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're doing a lot of sketchy stuff.
I mean, it depends who, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, there's
so much less control.
Well, there's less control, right?
We work with. And
Yeah.
now, we're these agents that are not from the main offices or whatever, that are just overseas or whatever. They're there's a lot of.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And I think brokers are about to realize that now and be like, wow, we can't trust the way we hired before. We can't assume that everything's legitimate anymore. And they're about to need, not to be so self-promoting, but it's you need an e-pay manager. You need someone that's auditing your documents the second they come in, not 30 days from now when the customer decides to tell you, I'm not paying this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious, Chris, can you walk us through that? So let's just say, for example, a brokerage is using e-pay manager, and they had this kind of sketchy agent send these fake flows. how would ePay detect that? How would that work?
So the PODs that were created were obviously fake.
Yeah.
There were things on there that we would have seen that are not typical, whether it's a domain, and I don't want to give away like our own, obviously like proprietary, the way that we detect the fraud, because honestly, I think we're really incredible at what we do, but then obviously we've taught a vendor what we are looking for. So it is available, but for anyone, but ePay allows us to immediately go, things look off, and escalate it to the broker and say, will you take a look at this? Because this does not look like it's right.